Hello again, everyone. Corey here with CDS Automotive. Just kind of a follow-up with the Silverado. If you saw that video on the vent solenoid that had failed, I just wanted to make another quick video in regards to what I commonly see and what I commonly get phone calls on. And I've touched on this before, but I think it's important to reiterate, and I will show you the importance of why having proper testing done versus maybe going to a parts house that just does a code scan on a particular system is not always in your best interest. So typically, the parts houses usually don't have this exact format, but it will serve the purpose for the video here, and enlightening you on how it works. So if you typically they'll have some sort of search engine, right? So they would put in a trouble code, typically called a DTC. For those of you in the industry, it's a diagnostic trouble code. And then they will go over, and you can see that you kind of get a list there, right? So canister vent solenoid, which in this case, ours has failed on that Silverado. So, but you can see it starts to continue to go down the line, down the line, down the line. Okay. What they often don't do, or they will not do, is they don't do any testing on the vehicle itself, right? So over there is the Silverado. They don't do actually any testing like I had shown you in the previous video. They don't ensure powers and grounds to the component. They don't do a dynamic system test. They don't do any static system tests. And this can be a problem because, we see the 27 hits on the solenoid, but at this point, we're kind of just guessing. We're not checking any of the wiring. We're not checking that the engine computer can actually control that solenoid. So you don't know. There's a lot of unknowns at that point versus knowns, to just be putting parts on. The other thing they often don't tell you or won't show you, probably because they don't have access to it or don't realize that there is such a thing. And I'm not narking on them. I'm just saying this is typically overlooked. You can see a little section here called TSBs and/slash recalls. So TSBs stand for Technical Service Bulletins. And what this is, if there's a continual failure pattern caused by a certain issue, and it's pinpointed by the manufacturer, they often release technical service bulletins on how to properly repair it, so this issue that your vehicle is having doesn't turn into a continuous failing cycle. Okay, so the check engine light is on. Yep. And we do have a 449 set. Yep. And so they're telling you to replace the vent solenoid assembly, which we verified that is failed. And then they're telling you to relocate the vent solenoid due to debris, saturation, and all that. So you can see there's a whole list, and I'm not going to go through all that, but I think you get the point. There's a whole list on where to relocate it, what kit to use, put an extension on the vent, and all that to ensure that debris doesn't backfeed down into the vent solenoid, causing premature failure. The location and the demographic that I am in and operate in is a very large agricultural demographic. So dirt, debris, trucks going off road. There are a lot of trucks in this area. It's all very common. So guys, it's always worth the testing. It's always worth the pinpointing to the root cause to ensure that you are informed on the status of your vehicle and or the issue that it's having, that you're laid out all the possible options so you can make the best investment decision based on your goal of the vehicle and your budget, and the additional information, the additional testing saves you from having to throw parts at a vehicle and you don't really know if it's fixed or not. I had a phone call recently of someone inquiring about some testing. They stated that they had it taken to a parts house, or they took it to a parts house, one of the two, and they said the parts house did the diagnostics on it, and they printed out a list, and they bought, and I'm not joking, every single part on that list, and they did not understand why the vehicle was still broke. Unfortunately, at that point, they were out of funds because they had drained everything into the parts for that vehicle that unfortunately did not fix that vehicle. So it's worth the testing. It's worth the investment to have the answer. So that way it's correct. Quality parts are installed. The concern is verified after the repair to ensure that it is repaired and that there's no further issues within, in this case, the EVAP system, or it could be any given system, giving you the peace of mind that your vehicle is good to go and you're back on your way. So thanks for watching, guys. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up. If I'd love to hear your feedback on this, drop them down in the comments. And thanks for watching, guys. We will catch you on the next one.